Hi there. Welcome to Healthier You with Mindy. Welcome back to those who've already visited some of my videos, and welcome if this is your first time viewing. Our topics are related to health, may or may not be diet, but anything that relates to health. So today's topic is about anxiety. And many people think of anxiety as just a mental, some kind of disorder that has to do with your mental capacities and your mental struggles. But the reality is, number one, anxiety can be triggered by physical illnesses such as head injuries. And number two, it has health impacts regardless of its own, the source of it. So, anxiety is a huge issue right now, especially I work with high school age students, and we're seeing a lot of issues with anxiety. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about that today and give you a couple tools to use if you're one of those people that is struggling with a little bit of that. The first thing to help us reduce our anxiety is to make sure that we are well resourced. And what that means is that we have an infrastructure in place of self care that can help us improve when we're having those times where it's really escalating, to help us improve our well being. And that could be making sure that we have friends that we can phone a friend. That's going to be have good listening ear and be supportive. Have different activities, have a menu of activities that we know help nurture us. Taking a walk in nature, something to get outside or move your body. There's a lot of reasons that helps anxiety. Moving your body helps process through some of the somatic issues that come up that create some of our anxiety. And so that really helps alleviate some of those fight or flight kind of chemicals that we release in our body. Other things could be taking a bubble bath or meditating or, doing art, anything like that. Watching a funny movie or comedy show, something that makes you laugh. Um, just having those resources is one quick remedy to help us ease some of that anxiety. Other things that help, if you're at work, obviously you're not necessarily going to be able to do those things, but there are other things that you can do. One is breath work. You can do a lot of different types of breath work. I can tell you a couple of different ones really quickly. One of them is to do alternate nostril breathing. You take your thumb and your ring finger and you inhale and then exhale. And inhale and exhale. And do that for a minute or two. What that does is it kind of changes the chemical outputs that are creating the brain patterns. It helps you kind of reset, and it'll really take you out of that panic mode or anxiety mode that might be escalating. Another type of breathing would be to inhale for 4, hold your breath for 4, and then exhale for 5. You'll always want to exhale longer than the inhale. You can change the timing depending on how your lung capacity is, but try to really stretch those lungs and use at least 70% of your lung capacity. And make sure you're belly breathing when you do that, because that helps us stimulate the nerves that create better feelings in our body. So those are some things. Other things to think about are reducing your social media or any kind of stress and anxiety causing media, so the news or dramatic shows and those kinds of things that can really create that stress response in us, especially later in the evening. Staying off of media at the last hour before bed, journaling, having a good night routine to help settle in, so that you're not waking up and doing the hamster wheel. That's what I call it, where you're just thinking about the same things over and over and over and over again in the middle of the night, waking up and having that hamster wheel of thought. You might have a pen and paper next to your bed, so if that happens, you can write some things down and kind of let go of it, and that'll help you release some of that. And those are some of the tools that I can think of right off the top of my head that will help with some anxiety. And there are other ones, but that is quite a few. So don't try them all at once. Make sure that you take things in baby steps and are gentle and loving with yourself. Beating up on yourself doesn't make your anxiety any better. So remember that every bit of anxiety you have secretes chemicals and creates physical impacts, ulcers and digestive issues and muscle tension, which can create clenching our teeth and breaking our teeth. I actually, in the past, I used to have sore teeth, and they almost had to pull some of my teeth in the back because I'd cracked them from clenching my teeth in my sleep from all the anxiety that I had in my life at that time. So there are a lot of health impacts to not managing stress, so it's really important to take care of ourselves. If you have any questions for me, or you want to just let me know how things go, please go ahead and comment in the chat, or go to my website, permacultureofthesoul.net, and my email's in there and contact information. So I hope this helped you, and you have a lovely day. Thank you all.